Hello everybody! In this video I will explain examples in real life on the Theorem of Pythagoras as you would find it in the Grade 8 syllabus. Example 1. A ladder is leaning against a wall. The foot of the ladder is 5 meters from the base of the wall. The top of the ladder is 6 meters from the base of the wall. Calculate the length of the ladder. And there's your little sketch. Now the first thing that you will realize is that there's no labels. So let's label it quickly. Let's call that one A, B, and C. Then the next thing that I want to teach you is that a building or a wall will always form a right angle with the ground. So what can you see? Suddenly there's a right angle triangle. So we can work out the length of the ladder using the Theorem of Pythagoras. Remember, the Theorem of Pythagoras always starts with hypotenuse squared is equal to one side squared plus the other side squared. Therefore, we can write it as AC squared is equal to AB squared plus BC squared, the Theorem of Pythagoras. Then we can substitute. AB is 6 squared plus BC is 5 squared. 6 squared is 6 times 6 is 36 plus 5 squared is 5 times 5, 25. 36 plus 25 equals 61. And then we only want AC, not AC squared. We take the square root both sides. And the square root of 61 is 7,81 meters. Therefore, the length of the ladder, 7,81 meters. Example 2. A boat B is 80 meters from the foot F of a lighthouse L. The distance from the top of the lighthouse to the boat is 110 meters. Calculate the height of the lighthouse. Now, can you see that it was indicated that there is a right angle between the lighthouse and the ground? Therefore, we have a right angle triangle. We can use the Theorem of Pythagoras. Remember, the Theorem of Pythagoras starts with hypotenuse squared is equal to one side squared plus the other side squared. So for this situation, it's LB squared, that's the hypotenuse, equals LF squared plus FB squared. And the reason Pythagoras. Now we can substitute. LB's length is 110 squared equals LF squared plus and FB is 80 squared. 110 squared is 110 times 110, which is 12,100. Equals LF squared plus, and 80 squared means 80 times 80, which is 6,400. Then let's let it walk across. 12,100 minus 6,400 is 5,700 equals LF squared. And then we want only LF, so we take the square root both sides, and LF's length, the height of the tower of the lighthouse, is 75,5 meters. Before we continue, have you subscribed yet? Or you can like this video, and better yet, please tell your friends about my channel. Let's continue. Example 3. A street and B street meets perpendicularly. Calculate the diagonal distance from James's house to Sarah's house. Now when you look at the sketch there, where it says they meet perpendicularly, that means it's this angle over there. That's a right angle. So when we want to find the diagonal distance, it implies we want the hypotenuse of a right angled triangle. So by now, it's very clear you understand. It's going to be the Theorem of Pythagoras, which says Remember, hypotenuse squared equals one side squared plus the other side squared. In this case, it's JS squared equals JR squared plus SR squared. And we add Pythagoras. Now we can substitute. JS, that's what we're looking for. JR, it was given on the sketch, was 2 squared plus, and SR is 1,5 squared. Then 2 squared, 2 times 2 is 4, plus and 1,5 squared means 1,5 times 1,5, which is 2,25, plus 4 is 6,25. But then remember, we don't want JS squared, we want JS. So therefore we will take the square root both sides, and the answer, the length JS is equal to 2,5 miles. Thank you for watching my video. If you click on the video in the left-hand corner, it will take you straight to the next lesson. There I will discuss some examples where you would use the Theorem of Pythagoras in geometry. On the right-hand side, you will find the 2 playlists on geometry in grade 8.